The dreaded sales call. All you see all over social media is trying to avoid doing a sales call. You can use a Google Doc, do it in the DMs, but just don't get on the sales call. And what that really is telling me is that women coaches dread them. They do not want to get on a sales call whatsoever. And when I talk to women, they say, "Oh, I got in this to do my whatever my zone of genius is. I didn't get in it to do sales." Sorry to tell you, ladies, but this is a sales game here. If you want to be in this online space, it's all about sales. And what I'm hearing women say is that they would just prefer to skip it altogether. But the truth is, you should never, ever skip this or avoid a sales call. You actually need them. They provide such good information. But really, what you do need to make this all work together is a system that makes it feel simple, natural, and gives you the confidence to keep doing them. And it all starts with one small shift in the pre-framing. I am Katie Hahn, and I have been in sales for almost 20 years. I can sell ice to an Eskimo, is what my sister tells me. I love talking to people. But what I found way back when I first started is that it's really about having a system and learning what that system is. I didn't start the easy way either. I had no idea. I was just like you. I thought I should get out of this game. But once I figured it out and somebody kind of gave me the insight, I loved it and I've excelled at it. I've been a top closer in this online high ticket space for selling for other coaches. So the one thing that shifted my thinking way back when I first started was pre-framing. And I don't even think it had a name when I started. It wasn't something that I was, figuring out as a structure. It just made it easier to set the tone of the call or the meeting that I was having. So most coaches, though, lose the confidence in that very minute, the beginning of a sales call or sales meeting. That's when people start rambling too long, they try to connect too much, and then they just jump right into a pitch. And instantly, it all feels awkward. And that awkwardness creates chaos, anxiety, and then you and the client feel it. And it just doesn't end well in that sense at all. Pre-framing is setting the tone and the agenda at the beginning. And it's not a rigid script, it's a framework. It really makes it easy for you to remember what you need to do next. First step, outline what you're going to cover in the call. Second, you invite them to share openly. And third, you let them know that you're going to discuss working together if it's a good fit at the end. It's easy, and it really lets them know that you have a plan. So let me give you an example. This is kind of how I did it and still do it today. I know that we have limited time on our call here, so let's just jump in. First of all, get a clean sheet of paper and so you have something to take notes with. You got it? Awesome. Now, the purpose of the call is to get to know you, your business, and your goals. The intent with that is that we can find alignment. Ultimately, I know my program isn't for everybody, but if that's okay, I want to find a true fit and alignment, and then we will make sure that it meets your goals. And at the end of the call, I'm going to be looking for a yes or no if you see the alignment also. How does that sound? Great. Let's just dive in. So do you see how easy that was? I just kind of set it up and told them what to expect, so we were on the same page. Now, if they say, I don't think I can do that, I don't think I can give you a yes, that's awesome. You have information up front that you know how to handle that. Maybe you need to reschedule a call. Maybe it's a partner you have on, but you now have all the information you need. So up front, the pre-framing works because it builds trust, it gives you control, and it creates clarity for both sides. Remember, that confidence did not come from the pep talk, the song you were listening to before you got on. It comes from knowing what's going to happen next. When you pre-frame, again, your client feels safe and clear. So when you practice this, you just need to start with what your agenda is, what your role is, and what their role is. And start saying it until it feels natural. It doesn't need to be scripted. It just needs to feel a natural flow, and you can modify it as you go. Now, the first few times, it may feel very structured, and clients may like that because they know what's going to happen. But that's okay. You'll get it so it feels natural. This one shift alone can change your closing rate. I can attest to it, and I can tell you it happens. And that's why all high ticket closers pre-frame calls in this very same way. This is the way and the method that works. So do you see how much easier it feels when you use the power of a pre-framing of the call? And this is just one part of a bigger system. And that confidence that didn't come from the pep talk, it comes from having this clear structure. We're starting with the pre-frame and we're moving through a process, a structured process that gives you that confidence that you know exactly what to do at what time, when, and how to move. And if for some reason you get off track, you know how to get yourself right back on track every single time, and you can trust yourself. This also allows you to have more consistency within your calls, which allows for more consistent income as well. Now, you might have heard coaches say, you don't even need to do these sales calls anymore. Just send a Google Doc or do it in another email. But the truth is, the 100% truth is, people don't buy from PDFs. People don't buy from your emails. They may in a sense, but they've already had enough exposure to you. But that's what they're looking for, that connection. If they're spending a high dollar, they want to know who you are. They want to make sure you align with them, and this is for real. So people buy from people. And discovery calls are where you build trust, show empathy, and really fill your pipeline. That's why in the next video, I'm going to bust the biggest myth about sales calls and what is secretly killing your growth. So don't miss it. Watch this next video in the playlist.